Party members on all sides seem resigned to the fact that this election will be a difficult one, both in terms of competition and fairness. Be that as it may, as the elections draw closer, it is time to start thinking about what will happen after their conclusion. What kind of leadership will emerge and where will it take the country in the future? I spoke with Dr. Kumar Rupesinghe of the Foundation for Coexistence to find out his views. The upcoming elections are dominating the political news these days. So let me start by asking you straight away, what do you think will be the outcome in terms of positive change for the country in the future?
Well, I think that the government is expecting a two-thirds majority. I don't think there will be a two-thirds majority, but they will have a very comfortable majority. And then the usual gerrymandering will happen, and they will get the two-thirds majority by possibly engineering crossovers, which is the usual practice in Sri Lanka.
So what do you think this two-thirds majority will mean, and would it be in the best interests of the country for them to get that two-thirds majority?
No, I don't think so. I think that it is best if the government decides to change the constitution through a constituent assembly with the cooperation of the opposition. I think the government should invite the opposition leader to lead the constitutional reform debate in Parliament so that this can take away the acrimony and the vituperative politics which has dominated this country.
But do you see this happening?
I hope the President does such a gesture and invites the leader of the opposition to steer the constitutional process. Then you are going to have a consensus on a number of issues which may be very good for the country.
Okay. Now in the last presidential election, the people of the North and East voted very differently to the South. What does this tell us about the way they feel their issues are being addressed?
I would say that the so-called minorities don't have much confidence in the political process. That lot may have to happen to rebuild that confidence. I think the government will try to develop the Northeast through reconstruction. But I think the psychological wounds are still there, and mistrust between the communities, those things have to be addressed. And currently I don't see any effort to address those fundamental issues. Hopefully after the elections they may want to set up a reconciliation committee or a commission, or to actually begin to address some of the issues that have dominated the politics of Sri Lanka.
Would you say that there has been enough, or there hasn't been enough effort to bring the minorities into the political process in a meaningful manner since the war ended?
Well, I mean, it's a difficult issue because minorities are already now engaged in elections. The ruling party has many minority parties which are contesting under the UPFA. So is the UNP. So, I mean, there is no political alienation of the minorities politically. They are organized. They can form parties. They can seek representation in Parliament. So I don't think there's a problem there. The question is that the minorities themselves are deeply divided. The Muslims are deeply divided. The Tamils are deeply divided. The TNA is deeply divided. So I think those issues are also there. So, but I think within the political conjuncture, minority parties will decide to go with this majority party or that majority party to seek whatever reforms they wish to have.
Finally, and I want to bring you back to the elections, which are just days away, how hopeful are you that it will bring about the right kind of leadership into Parliament to take the country forward in the future?
Well, I understand that there is a large number of younger people who are now going into Parliament, and that's always very positive. I do think that the President will stick to the promise he has given of having a cabinet of 35. I understand that it's already now a constitutional amendment has been prepared for that. I think that's very healthy. I do think that after the war, the government has now the opportunity of taking the country forward economically, and there's huge potential to take the country forward. And there, of course, I hope that it will happen through consensus politics, because for 6 years we are not going to have elections. So this is a long period of time to really get together and reconstruct the country.
We're going in for a short break right now, but we'll be back with a story about a courageous Sri Lankan woman, and later a look at an interesting initiative by the Sri Lankan Navy.